Hey, Mr. Clash here, and today we're going to have a look at how to 3-star these bases with dragons. I want to talk about these bases. I'm talking about bases that have these on the corners on the outside. You see a lot of them, they come around and say, oh, you'll put this in, you can't go below my base. And hey, maybe you can. You can actually. But for this purpose, we're going to dragon the base. Now, we've done a lot of testing. Now, everyone's probably heard of how to 3-zap and earthquake spell air defenses. It's a bit hit and miss. Sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't. We've done extensive Dragonborn, the attacker in the first two, and myself, we must have done just zapping air defenses for like 2 hours in the clan. Now, what we discovered was the following. If you zap on each foot of the air defense, then you watch and you wait and you see which one has the least health and the most health. The one that has the most health, if they're equal health, you put the next zap right in the middle between them. If they don't, then you put the zap leaning towards the one, left or right, that has the most health, so that it gets most of the zap. And the same here, you put the zap on the foot, where the foot would be, and then determine which one needs to get the next zap. After the zaps are done, then you place the earthquake spell, and we found that that's got over 90% chance of getting them down instead of a little bit hit and miss, as often is the case when people's like, oh, it's almost 50-50. So but that will get them down all the time. Now, the next trick to this, and we'll just take this for example. Let's say these have gone down. Okay, so that's part one. That's on how to zap. The other part is getting a funnel for your dragons. Now, you do need to know that the dragons will probably be going to come in over one of the air defenses. So you need to get the other air defense down. So this is where your heroes come in, and you're going to suey heroes onto to get the air defense down. You'll also get some of the trash down in that area, which means now dragons don't want a path down. Now, what about the other side? This is where your minions come in. If you can help it, you can drop some minions down on some things before you zap. So drop minions, drop some minions, and then they start their funneling process while you're messing around, moving the screen around, zooming in to get the zapping done. Once the zapping's done, you get your heroes in. Once the heroes are looking good, then you can start deploying your dragons and Lava Hound onto the air defense with backup balloons. You've got a haste and a rage to get all of that in, and then you just sit back and you watch. If your heroes are still up, then you activate the ability. If they're not, then at that point you're just a passenger along for the ride. Let's see how that goes. We're going to be having a look at 3 attacks. Now, you just noticed again with the deployment of the earthquakes, 1 on each. Then there's the pause, having a good look at the health, deciding that it's pretty well in the middle, and then going on from there. So a little bit late on the minions, although there's the funnel is not too hard in this case to get it done. So that's good. Minions have gone down. Heroes have come down. So instead of just coming along in this attack and saying, I'm just going to have extra dragons, you use minions because you can get things done quickly while you're doing other things. So queen's down, king's down, and first dragon's down at the top there. Once that air defense goes down, then you can start deploying the remainder of the dragons. Especially, you can actually deploy the dragons before the air defense goes down, as long as you know that you're going to get a little bit of a leeway, that the air defense is not going to attack the dragons while you're getting the Lava Hound in. So here you could see rage, heal, don't worry about the clan castle, that's all pretty good. Okay, now there's some balloons coming in at the top, and another couple of balloons up the sleeve. Now, the point of those other spare balloons, so you're dropping 4 in with the Lava Hound if you're bringing 8. The reason you're bringing the 4 drops in, then you have 4 up your sleeve for sniping. Like you can see here, just snipe the Tesla. Now these balloons are going to path around with these dragons at the top here, take out some weapons. Move on, take out the wizard tower, move over to the cannon. Every time they take something out, now you can see this balloon still pathing over to the arch tower. It's going to help take out the mortar. It'll help take out things. This one up the top here is going to drop onto the dark storage. And you can see here, bang, that one just took out a black bomb, which could have taken out a dragon. So what happens is often the balloons will distract an archer tower or something like that, and then the dragon will. Then the balloon can come in and take out the dragon, the archer tower. Or the balloons distract the archer tower. For the dragon, so they work hand in hand. They help distract things from each other and help keep each other in the game. So this is the first attack that we're going to have a look at. Now, once this finishes, we'll go have a look at the second attack. And we'll just do that now. There we go. That was that one done. Let's just dive straight into this one. Again, you can see this is Dragonborn. If you've seen some of my videos before, you'll recognize that Dragonborn did these sorts of attacks in the Reddit versus forum war. Got a bit of a six-pack going. And he's pretty bit of a maestro doing these sorts of things. So pay attention to what you just saw up there. There was the 2 lightnings dropped, then the pause while examining the health, then the earthquake. The minions were dropped first. Then we come down to the heroes to clean out this bottom exposed air defense. So the king and the queen will come in, Sui heroes, and you can start to see nothing up here, nothing on the right hand side down the bottom. Nice little funnel created. Drop some dragons in. Get a couple dragons on the heavy storage to make sure that they can get through that pretty quickly. Here comes a lava hound with 4 balloons, and now there's another 4 balloons up the sleeve. So haste spell down, get them in, rage spell, rage the dragons. Now if you can have the rage spell for where, if you know they're a Tesla farm or something, you can rage the dragons over a Tesla farm. So you can see the balloons coming on the left hand side, going to snipe the archer towers. Now, what that has meant also is that while the archer tower was shooting at the balloons, it wasn't shooting at the sick dragon that you saw there. So the dragon's health stayed a little bit more sustained. Now, watch those balloons just after the cannon. Now, again, distracting the archer. Watch those balloons just very carefully. Black bomb. Bang. There we go. So when I was talking about the balloons protecting the dragons, that's the sort of thing that can happen. So the balloon gets sacrificed and a sick dragon stays up and still does good work. So you can see the next snipe balloons coming in onto this right hand side Tesla. That goes down, and then that's it. We can just speed this up a little bit now so you can see that the cleanup. Now only brought in 8 dragons, and there's we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So lost 3 dragons in the entire attack on this Max Town Hall 9 base. Now we'll go have a look at the base that I attacked. Okay, now I'll just give you a quick rundown of when I looked at this base, what a couple of things that I was looking at. I was looked at the archer tower, and I was paying attention to this. There's no way I'll get a minion onto this at all. The archer tower is covering that. But on this side up here, I could get minions because the archer tower wasn't covering that. So that became part of that plan. The other thing that I checked as well is the range of the air defense. It's like, okay, I'm not going to get, I can get a minion onto this. That's pretty handy. And this one will go down to the king and queen, so that's not an issue. And where's this one? Okay, I can get some dragons in, and it won't get immediately targeting onto dragons. So that's pretty good. So my immediate plan was to get a minion onto this camp, take it out, get a minion onto these 2 up here. I was a little bit, I'll show you the plan that I did, hesitant about which ones I wanted to actually take up here. Because I thought if I want the queen to come in, she might bounce off that. I didn't feel I wanted the king to go onto this and bounce this way. That kind of meant the minion had to take this out, otherwise the king would bounce up and go that way. But if these things aren't here, then when the king reaches here, he'll have to path this way, rage him up, and these will go down. So that's fantastic for that side of the base. Now, it also meant, in discussion with Dragonborn, we were talking about possibly to stop the queen heading this way. Once the king goes down, get a wizard onto this, have a minion on this, so this is down. The wizard on this will take this out and then take out the mortar. Now the queen shouldn't really path this way at all, and with a couple of minions down on this dark drill, then the dragons coming in, remember these are down, the dragons coming in, there's nowhere left to go. Now I did have a plan, and I'll just show you that. Now we'll go away from this plan, and I'll just show you what my plan actually was. We'll have a look at that now. So this is my little sketch plan of what I just showed you, and you could see how I drew the lines to show which way the heroes were likely to go and problems I encountered. Now you can see here this purple line is the path of the lava hound, and these sort of green lines were going to be the balloons to bounce off the mortar. And then talking with Dragonborn, we figured that we could get it so the balloons go straight in. So once the king goes down this way, the queen will take out this and this. And the other thing was the deployment of the lava hand, and I'll show you what Dragonborn came up with for that one. And the solution was, don't put the lava hound onto the air defense, but to actually send it all the way across the base. And that way it would take away any bombs that might be there. It would distract the queen a little bit as well, but it would take away bombs. And then to also, instead of having 8 balloons, to come in with an extra 4 balloons so that you can use them for sniping on these outside things, seeing as the Teslas were all over here because this was a clean-up hit. Okay, so let's go back to the attack. And let's just get right into it. And remember, we were talking about dropping the minions first. So dropping the minions up here to get that funnel created. There we go. Drop 1 minion. Test. Okay, red air bomb got taken out. Drop the next minion. Going to drop a couple minions on here. And now we'll just pause it there. And have a bit of a zoom in on the air defense so you can see what I'm talking about with the 2 lightnings go down, 1 on each foot. You can see there, bang, there's the other one. Wait for the dust to clear. Notice that the bottom air defense is a little bit more health, and then drop the lightning towards that one. And there we go. So that's how you get that done every time. All right, just pause that. All right, so you can see minions have taken out those top 2 up there, and we'll just get right into this. King down, once the mortar is onto him, yep, great. Wizard down. So now you can see the wizard will path onto the mortar and take out the mortar. And now there will be no reason for the queen to go that way unless something comes out to distract her. So I've got the minion on the camp, so that's going to make sure the dragons won't go down that side. And now here come the dragons. Okay, air defense going down. King's over at the cannon. He'll rage any second. There he goes. He's raged. All the dragons in. Everybody in. I meant to drop the lava hound to come across the base like Dragonborn suggested. And then here it is. The queen's still alive. She's shooting skeletons at the moment. And the lava hound's coming all the way over. Slight wrong timing with the balloons. The balloons got a couple of hits from the air defense, but the haste spell helped all that. And now here come that pile of dragons running straight for the queen. My lava hound is still up at the moment. Both expos are targeting the lava hound. The air sweeper is helping the balloons. When the lava hound pops with the balloon damage as well, boom, there goes the wizard. And I've got pups. The queen's still up circling around. I've got a couple of balloons coming in as snipe balloons at the bottom. Now, the interesting thing that happened is I was trying to deploy the rage spell after I dropped the minions, and I couldn't drop the rage spell because I've got the low battery warning light on my device. And I'm trying to put the pop-up down, and it won't go down. I'm like, no, go down so I can drop the rage spell. So the rage spell was a little bit late. That's why. Now, you did notice then the balloons triggered a black bomb. Again, the balloons helped the dragons, and the dragons helped the balloons. So it was a little bit wrong with the balloons. The deployment was a little bit shabby. I probably should have dropped those last balloons all on those final Teslas, but that's okay. Now, there's still Teslas up. I still got the queen, and I dropped all my minions on the right hand side instead of dropping one at the top up there, but it doesn't matter. I still got 2 dragons up, considering this was a little bit of it. All of the DPS was on the back end of the base. To still have 2 dragons up and a very sick expo worked out pretty well. Okay, so we'll just speed this. Oh well, it's the last 13 seconds. So something to keep in mind. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. There we go, black bomb, dragon still survived. So when you're doing this, just remember the order to do it in. You've got to, of course, pick the angle of the dangle, like which side of the base you want to come in from. First, you must do that, of course. But once that's been decided, try and get your funneling minions down first. Then do your zapping. You zap, wait for the dust to clear, put the 3rd zap a little bit towards the side of the air defense that has the most health, drop your 3rd zap, then your lightning, then your Sui heroes onto the other exposed air defense, which helped you create that funnel or whatever, depending on where that air defense is, and then get your dragons in, like you've just seen here. Okay, so question of the day. Question of the day is, what do ghouls, goblins, ghosts, and the like serve for dessert? They serve ice cream. Ice cream. Anyway, thanks for watching. Do leave the video a thumb up. Do let me know what you thought of the attacks, or if you've used it, what sort of success you've had. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.